Hello everyone, Miss Normally here today with the Diablo 3 beta. I'm in the I'm in the open beta because I couldn't get in the closed one because at the time my computer was crappy. So very quickly I'm just going to show you the introduction. As you can see over here on the left, you got your different classes. Some are very similar to the older classes in the past games, some are very different. Barbarian is pretty much the equivalent of a warrior, wizard, sorcerer. I think monk was an option actually in the past. Demon hunter, I guess would be very similar to the rogue or assassin class. And then witch doctor is something different completely. So this is what I had played before when I beat it earlier this afternoon. And I wanted to try a different class because I have limited time. This closes tomorrow. So I'm going to be a monk this go around. And just want to show you that really fast. Here we go. So I would say the total length of this entire this game or this beta is, depending on how quickly you play and you know how much sticking around you do, is probably 3 hours. I'm not sure about that, maybe less. But I think it gives you a really good idea of what to expect. More or less, it's very similar to the older games, I would say. You know, even though it's a much more beautiful game than the past. In the Diablo series, just because of time and technology, it still very much feels like the same game, the same experience. Only the special abilities you have, of course, are a lot nicer to look at. There's a lot more interactivity with the world. You can destroy a lot more. There are a lot of traps you can set to kill your enemies, and hopefully I'll have enough time to show you some of that. It's a little bit slow going here in the beginning, and I may skip through it if need be. So very similar to the past games. Of course, you've got your merchants, healers, your stash over here, blacksmith. Very reminiscent of the older games.
Rumford said you survived the fallen star. I did, but it blasted my uncle Deckard Cain into the depths of the old cathedral. I tried to search for him, but the dead were already rising. I came back here to rally the militia, but... Watch out! They're returning! My understanding grows.
This is killing business.
The dead will overwhelm us all.
And of course, very well voiced, much like the previous games. That was something I was always impressed with this series. Was you know, a lot of people would kind of cut corners on the voice acting, and I mean, I'm not saying it's always going to be great, but at least they put some effort into to voicing a lot of the characters here, and they're a lot more voiced in this game than in the past. It's the little things. And also, you might notice, unfortunately, there's going to be some lag. If you're like me and you have Time Warner Cable, which is the shittiest internet ever, which is a real bummer. And as I'm sure you know, maybe you don't know, but you should, if you don't have an internet connection, you can't play this game. So, unfortunately, that's just the way it is. I doubt they're going to change it. It's mainly for piracy reasons, and I don't really blame them. But, you know, it's kind of a pain in the ass if for some reason you don't have internet, you want to play offline, you can't. So, I mean, what are you going to do? That's just the way it is now, so...
There are more of them in the ruins down the road.
chronicling and writing about the strange creatures in our world, but the sight of the wretched mothers still haunts me. They are the remnants of Queen Asilla's slaughtered handmaidens who were twisted by foul magic. Now they feast upon cadavers and regurgitate them as newly formed, risen dead. I will never forget the first time I saw these horrors shambling out of the misty woods. Our loved ones, buried long ago, rose from their graves and began to attack the living. However, the risen dead were only the beginning.
Another nice touch you'll notice that they've done with this as opposed to the old games is they have health globes now, which really helps preserve the flow of the gameplay, I think. And I feel like, not being a mana user, but I think if you have mana, if you were a wizard, then they would have mana globes that you can pick up, and that's kind of nice. Because I'm pretty terrible with hotkeys. I've never really been an expert at that, and so it's kind of nice. I like the globes a lot because I hate having to remember to quickly tab my to use my health, which is kind of can be a pain sometimes. Gotta put some clothes on this girl. Okay. Again, very similar interface. Pretty big maps. I started getting lost a little bit towards the end in some of the dungeons. I remember that was always one of my big complaints with the earlier Diablo games, was they were just kind of sprawling.
They are everywhere. Run! Save yourself!
Oh, I love this game. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think, when it finally comes out. Assuming I can find the time to play the damn thing. Something else I'm not very educated on, but you might be interested to look up. This is what I was talking about the kind of a little bit of the interactivity with the world. I mean, you could do these in the old games, but I mean they've got a lot of stuff that you can destroy. I wish I had more to show you if it wasn't so early in the game. But something you might be interested to look up is the terrain apparently will change over time. I thought I had read or heard something about that. The maps change. I thought that was kind of interesting. I'll need to look that up. And if I'm wrong, if I'm making this up and I'm imagining things, let me know. But I could have swore that I had read that either in the game somewhere or online. Back when this started getting a little bit closer to release, or, you know, they were projecting dates I had read quite a bit about. Oh, that's kind of cool. See, I didn't even see this before. It's a nice game about playing this game again. But back when, you know, there was a lot of hype going on, you know, there were more solid details coming out, videos coming out. I knew a lot more about this game, but, you know, with Blizzard, they keep you waiting so long, you kind of start to give up hope. So I quit, you know, teasing myself with a game that I knew I wasn't going to be able to play for quite a while, and quit reading up on it. So I'm sorry if I don't know nearly as much about it as I thought I would, but I just kind of randomly heard about this beta and decided to get in on the action, and I haven't had the chance to really read back up on it because I've been so busy. But here we are today.
The shadow of Diablo still hangs over this place.
And I think it's really cool too. A lot of times when you will encounter different enemies, they'll kind of give you a little bit of background on it, which I thought was interesting. I don't remember if they did that before, so I really enjoy that. Naturally, I feel like I have to pick up all the loot that's ever dropped, ever, so I'm really bad about that. You should see me playing like Fallout. It's pretty bad.
Not enough spirit.
More quill fiends. But you'll notice, I mean, if you've played the older games, it's so similar. It's just, you know, a new story and better graphics, in my opinion. Some people might argue with me, but they didn't reinvent the wheel, I would argue. You still have your town portal, still have the waypoints as such right here. I mean, there are a lot of similarities, but you know, I really think they've made a lot of improvements. I mean, look, isn't that just... Maybe I'm weird because I appreciate stuff like that, but a lot of times as you run around, you know, things will deteriorate, they'll fall apart, like this, for example. I just think it's kind of interesting and it's fun. I mean, it's really a beautiful game. I mean, look, nice little blood there, nice little touches. Whatever the hell a treasure pygmy is, they got that. You'll have to leave in the comments and let me know how much of this stuff is recurring, what the big differences are, because like I said, I mean, when the first one came out, I was like 8, and I guess the second one probably came out, I don't know, it must have been 2000 something. You have to educate me on that too, I'm not sure.
Previous little goblins have been robbing our merchants. When pursued, they simply open portals and disappear with the most aggravating chuckle. The peasantry seem to believe that the goblins serve a great demon lord known as Greed. And furthermore, that their portals lead to Greed's domain. A ludicrous notion, truly.
But as I was telling you before, that was a pretty good example of the kind of education they'll give you on the enemies in the game, which I think is pretty neat. I'm not one that I mean, I always appreciate in games like Dragon Age is a great example of this, but I always appreciate all the lore they put into games. but I just don't have the time to read it, so I would appreciate it a lot more if I could listen to it while I played, and that's one thing I really appreciate about this game.
Come, let us search for your uncle.
We'll need to open the cathedral first. The guards locked it up before they were ambushed. Rumford told me they fought their way back to Adria's hut. The key must still be there.
Alright, that's just the basic, I just want to show you the basic intro. You know, very brief and quickly how the game kind of plays and works. And I'm going to come back and we'll go and look for Deckard Cain. See if we can come up with him, and hopefully it'll be a little bit more exciting. But I just want to give you a quick intro and overview, show you what was going on there, and I hope you like the video and are interested at least now to investigate it more yourself. The game comes out May 15th. If you guys are going to get online and play, I'm sure I'll buy it, so you'll have to give me your usernames and we can play together. My Battle.net battle tag is Rockin' Soul, ROCKNSOU1, and I can't remember the numbers behind it. It's like 14 something. So I'll have to look that up and put it in the comments or put it in the description of the video in case you guys want to play with me next month when the game finally comes out. So with that, I will leave you and come back again and watch the second part of this video. Thanks.